Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. First off, I would like to apologize for the length of this video. I hope you guys aren't too overwhelmed by the length. Personally, I will try to keep things shorter in the future. This one just happened to take an enormous and unprecedented amount of time, thus it being substantially longer than videos have been in the past. So in today's video, I did a painting that is actually part of a project that I'm doing for my art class in school. So recently, my art teacher decided that she wanted us as a class to work on a set of paintings based off of a picture that she found on Pinterest. So essentially, our class has been turned into Students versus Pin. So it is only a matter of time before we see just how successful we will be in our endeavors. But she essentially found a picture of a giraffe whose face had been separated into geometric shapes and painted in black with a yellow circle in the background to kind of appear behind the negative space between the shapes. And so she decided that she wanted us to try and achieve the same thing so that our paintings would be presented as a set, And so she asked us all to find an animal and basically achieve the same thing. And while everyone else was Googling images of cute animals or not so cute animals, I decided that I had a specific kind of route that I wanted to go down because there's an artist on Instagram called Gabriel Piccolo. I think his banner is @_Piccolo. I'll link him down below. He did a series of Harry Potter drawings, and I knew that he'd featured some of the animals within Harry Potter, and his art is absolutely beautiful, so I kind of wanted to draw inspiration from that. And there was a specific piece he did with Nagini on it, Nagini being Voldemort's snake, and I thought it would be perfect because, for one thing, the shape, or rather the perspective from which he drew her, was completely unique to what other people in my class would have done. And also, I just thought that it would be a great idea to try and represent what he had achieved. So I went down that route. And I chose Nagini specifically because my whole life I've loved snakes. Well, technically reptiles in general, but snakes have always been an absolute pleasure for me. When I was in kindergarten, we had a day where a reptile zoo brought in a variation of reptiles from the zoo that we could hold and interact with and learn about, and it was an absolutely wonderful day. And after we saw these tiny amphibians and these tiny reptiles, this guy, and I thought he was crazy at the time, he brought out a python, like a ginormous jungle python, and I saw this snake. I was like, oh my god, this snake could kill me if I look at it wrong. And so I was essentially, in the beginning, very uneasy about the snake. And he asked for volunteers to go up and hold the snake. And I, a very adventurous 5-year-old, was kind of at a crossroads where I absolutely was dying to go and hold the snake. But at the same time, I was very unsure whether I thought I could or whether I thought it was even a rational idea. And so after much pondering, which I'm sure only lasted the span of 20 seconds, I decided that I wanted to go and help hold the snake. And I think it took 10 of us small children to hold this snake. And because I was still wary of it biting my head off, I chose to hold the tail all the way at the end. And for anyone who's ever handled snakes before, they know that they have a tendency of wrapping their tail around like whoever's holding them. And so this snake that was about 7 feet long and weighed probably more than I did, it wrapped its tail around my hand, and I knew from that moment that snakes were just, they were it for me. You know, they were this thing of beauty, and every year after that they brought these reptiles in, I was always the first one to volunteer, and I always went straight for the tail, not because I was nervous anymore, but because I wanted to have that kind of connection with the reptile. And I will never forget that snake's name. It was the first snake, her name was Baby, and she was an absolute sweetheart. And I actually met her mother the next year, and her mother was actually yellow, whereas Baby was brown and green. And her mom was called Fire. And those two snakes changed my life forever, and I have since then been attempting to get one, trying to get my hands on them. I hope to be a great snake parent. Anyways, so we seem to be nearing the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed my rant, and I will see you in my next video.